Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to another exciting episode of
Rise and shine.
We Are Your Go-To Source for Inspiration, Knowledge, and Networking in the world of real estate investing.
We are your host, Irismar Jim, and today we have the privilege of introducing a truly remarkable individual in the real estate investing and entrepreneurial world. Please join us in welcoming Alfonso Cuadra, a dynamic entrepreneur, a passionate real estate investor, and an inspiring speaker. Alfonso's journey is one of resilience and transformation, from overcoming significant challenges in his early life to becoming a powerhouse in the real estate industry. His history is nothing short of extraordinary.
Yeah, and Irismar, Alfonso is not just an investor, he's a mentor, he's an author, and he's a role model to many. His insights into real estate strategies, wealth building, and personal development have helped empower countless individuals. He embodies the spirit of what we all strive for in this community: success, integrity, and impact. Today, Alfonso is here to share his wealth of knowledge, his unique perspectives on real estate investment, and his inspiring life lessons. So whether you're a seasoned investor or you're just starting out, his insights are bound to enrich your journey.
So without further ado, let's give it a warm welcome to Alfonso Cuadra.
Yeah. Woo. Yeah, baby. Yeah. You're still on. Your camera's blocked. There you go.
What's happening, guys? Happy New Year.
Love spending the new year with you. Love spending the new year with you, Alfonso. Thank you for joining us. And I believe you're in Costa Rica.
I am in Costa Rica and it's beautiful here. It's about 32 degrees and it's morning. It's 10 a.m. here. And, I had to rise and shine with my good friends, my longtime friends, and I think we're going to provide a lot of value. If anybody is watching right now, I'm going to encourage everyone to stay to the end of this podcast because, before we got started, we were talking about, what we would offer and people say, oh, when you come on these podcasts, you should offer some nuggets. But we want to start off the year strong, and we're going to come with the bombs. We're going to drop bombs on this podcast. So be ready. Buckle up if you're watching. Get your popcorn. Get your kids, because we're gonna drop some knowledge here.
All right. Well, popcorn for breakfast, but it's New Year's. It's 2024. Who cares? We can have whatever we want for breakfast. But Alfonso, over the years, getting to know you better, you've been a real inspiration to a lot of people. And we have heard it during your boot camps at Wealth Genius and all your events, your Expand event, which was a huge success this past year. You've reached so many lives. What is it that makes you want to empower people and make people be the best versions of themselves?
I talk about this a lot. People ask me, how is it that you become a magnet to all of these people? And how is it that you're impacting so many lives? Everyone in every business has the ability to impact someone, impact a life, impact two lives, impact three lives. Most people just start a business and that's it, right? It's important, and I've talked about this even going into the new year, how important your goals are. But before you get to your goals, you got to start with the why, right? And so my why actually drives everything, drives me, drives the businesses, drives my leadership. It's at the core of everything. And I don't think enough people spend enough time digging deep and asking those really hard questions to themselves. Why do they do anything, right? Because once you discover why you do anything, then it's going to be clear to the world and you start attracting like-minded people to you. Anytime anybody comes in one of my rooms, they're like, wow, it's like everybody's the same, right? And so we're attracting people like us consistently. If your message is clear to the world on what it is that you're trying to do and accomplish, then you're going to attract all those people. But if you're putting out a message that is not consistent or is in alignment with who you are, you're going to attract all the wrong people, and you're doing it for the wrong reasons. And so for me, you know, my story started back home where I came from in El Salvador, war-torn country, came to Canada as a refugee, you know, spent time being lost, ended up on the streets, and became a parent at 17 years old. I thought those were the things that were driving me. But when I did the work about the why, I discovered that when I was 12 years old, I asked a simple question to my mom. I'm like, "Where's my dad?" My mom said, "Your dad left during the war, never came back." So unknowingly, this one event, this one answer to my question has been the motivator for everything that I do in my entire life. And so at 12 years old, I felt abandoned. I felt lost. I felt no one cared. I felt left behind. And so that has been a driving force in everything that I do. When my daughter was born, I was 17 years old. I stepped up because I never wanted her to feel like she was abandoned or left behind the way I felt when I was 12 years old. And so the question being, you know, how is it, or, you know, how am I in this position to impact so many people's lives, is because everything that I've created in my life, including the real estate portfolio, the businesses, everything has been centered around this one mission: no one left behind. And so, you know, we come from all walks of life, and you know, sometimes just people need to, no one needs a handout. People just need a hand up, right? We just need help and support. And the community that we're building here is one of true camaraderie, support, like-mindedness. Everyone is uplifting each other. And then when you do that, the outcome is incredible. If everyone is contributing and everyone knows why they're there, then the outcome is what you see. This is why, you know, expand, you know, 500 plus people, 870 something members. Last year, we just finished, you know, 2023, where people was like, oh, 2023 was a tough year for real estate. But our group, our people, you know, did $830 million in transactions. Wow. And so that is because of what we're cultivating here, right? People supporting one another and uplifting one another.
Yeah, and
that's
being able to break through the noise too, because we hear all the negativity out there, and that's where we need to push things aside and just focus on the business.
But one question, taking you back, because I know you have done the work and going deep into finding your why, which is that driving force, but you always had an entrepreneurial mindset. So if you did not know your why, or you're still struggling with it as a new entrepreneur or a new investor out there, what would be the first advice that you'll give them? Because they don't know their why yet.
Yeah, I want everyone to start with the outcome. What is the outcome that you want, right? Most people try to design you know, a really great way to get there, and the how, and you know, the business. I mean, some people choose real estate, some people want to go into IT, like all of these things. Those things are irrelevant. What you actually want to get to is the outcome. What is the outcome that you want? Do you want financial freedom? Do you want to travel more? Do you want to spend more time with your family? Like, what is the outcome that you're looking for? And so once you understand the outcome, then we can reverse engineer, right? We can say, okay, okay, what's the vehicle that you're going to choose to get you to this outcome? But you need to understand the outcome first. Then we can, you know, even within real estate, you have so many different strategies that you can take. I mean, you could go short term, you can go wholesaling, you can do land development, you can do multifamily, all these different strategies. But if we don't know the outcome, it's very difficult to figure out what strategy you're going to choose. We start with the outcome, right? So now we understand the goal. Where is it that you want to go? Now what we want to do is compress the time, you know, create bite-sized pieces. So if you have a 5-year goal, what is it that you need to accomplish in the next 3 years? What do you have to accomplish in the next 2 years? What do you have to accomplish in the next year? Now, once we understand exactly what we want, right? Now we got to start doing the work on ourselves, right? It doesn't always start with the why. It needs to start with the goal. What is it that you want? What is the life that you want? Okay, good. Now we establish that. Why do you need to be there? Why is this important? Every family should have a mission statement. Every family should have a vision statement. Every family needs to understand why they're doing anything, right? Very much how we grew this organization from 0 members to, close to 900 members in like 2 years. People ask me, how is that possible? That's possible because I'm a very clear communicator. I want to make sure that everybody understands why I'm doing this and why we're all here, right? And so from that perspective, that goes to every single person's individual business, their family, everyone, everyone, including the cat, okay? The cat or the dog in your household needs to understand why you're doing something. What is the goal? What is the outcome that we're all looking for? And we're all moving together. I don't know if you remember the movie Finding Nemo. You may or may not. Yes. So there's a scene in the movie where they get caught in the net. I don't know if you remember. And they're in this net, and all the fish are like trying to swim, and they're all kind of going all over the place. That's how the world is, right? Everyone is caught in this net, and the net of the world is people that are lost, confused. They don't have a mission. They don't have a vision for their life. They don't know where they're going. This is how the world is. And if you remember in the movie, at some point, I think it was Dory or someone says, or they asked some other fishes, and they all said, swim downwards. So basically, someone came with a vision that said, look, if you guys come together, you're stronger, right? But because everybody's trying to do their own thing and everyone's going over here, there's no direction, right? So what did they say? Swim downwards. And so all of the fish in the net now started to swim towards one direction, one goal, one vision, one mission, one why. And then what happened? They were so powerful that they broke the net. And so this is how you create, because we're all creators. And so we want to create goals, not as a collective. That's important, but it needs to start in your household. In your household, in each person's household, what is the mission? What's the outcome that you're trying to achieve? What's the vision for your business, your life? What kind of life do you want to lead, right? And now, once you understand the outcome, now we work on the why. You can't work on the why unless you know what the outcome is, or what the outcome that you want. Once you understand what the outcome you want, then you can work on. So why do you want to get there? Why is this important to you? How is this going to change? And then this work needs to be shared, right? Because if we know why you're doing something, then I'm on board. I'm going to watch more of your podcasts, because you're going to attract all the people that are in alignment with who you are, right? And this is how it works.
I love how you said reverse engineer, because I mean, we do that so much as entrepreneurs, as investors. We do that with numbers so often. But
yes,
your suggestion to do that with the outcome that we want in life, and reverse engineer our outcome in life, that is a big tool that I think everybody can apply, because they do it in so many different aspects of their life, just not in planning out their life.
Yes, and 100% something that resonated is you said it has to start in the household. And one of
yes,
the things is, for those of you out there, viewers, that have your family and have young children, this is a great activity to have them participate in.
Absolutely.
Because in our generation, Alfonso, you can connect with that. Finances were not something that we discussed on the table. It is
never.
No.
we only knew that it was the scarcity, that we could not afford certain things. But
Yeah.
now it's bringing it to the forefront. How are we going to get there? How are we going to do it? So that part, it is amazing. And I think that actually leads a little bit in your giving back. because you also are very adamant in children's education and bringing that financial literacy forward.
No, this is my whole entire mission in life, is to create financial freedom globally, right? That's a big, that's at the forefront of everything that I do. And how do I help more people? I'm obsessed with this, right? I'm obsessed with, creating programs and, how to help people more. And what I discovered is that, as adults, we're kind of jaded. We're already come with all our bad habits, all the luggage, all the stuff, the paradigms that we have to undo as adults. So I thought, you know what, younger people, blank canvas, I think I can have an impact with younger people. And then, this idea of giving is really interesting, right? The idea that we give back. And for me, it's this thing that I've been thinking about for a while. In fact, I was having a few conversations with a few people that I really respect. And what we came to is, like, as a society, we have this word giving back. Indirectly, what we're saying is that we took something that wasn't ours, right? And so in reality, we're just giving. If you just give of yourself, you're not really giving back. You're just giving because you didn't take anything that didn't belong to you, right? And so as a society, we have this like a guilty conscience. Anytime we get to any level of success, it's like, oh, we have to give back. But it's not really, and obviously people have different terms for it, but I just love giving. I just love giving. I don't need to give anything back. I never took anything that wasn't mine. Everything that I have is because I work for it. And we're just giving. We're just giving. We're just giving. And we want to help. We want to support. We don't want to give handouts. We want to give hand ups, right? So I'm going into the world. I'm not going to be the person that's going to bring the food, the water, clothes, because a lot of people have already done that. I'm the one that's going to give you the mindset. That's what I want to give. And I want to help people, and I want to teach them how to fish. Because if you teach people how to fish, they will never go hungry again.
That's right. That's right. And I love it because, in terms of you giving mindset, for our viewers watching, they say, well, I'm not financially stable enough to give. It's not about giving money. It's about giving time, giving energy to family, to friends, to the community. That all gets rewarded back to us in different ways, in enormous ways.
Yeah. And, when you are collaborating with other people, even if the outcome is a financial outcome that is really centered around your success and what you're doing, you're actually giving. If you're contributing to your family, your household, you're actually giving. If you're helping yourself, you are giving to someone in the future that will benefit from your success.
Yeah.
Right. And so what happens is we as we're building our portfolios, we're like, wow, you feel this guilt, right? And it's almost like a lot of people sabotage themselves, right? And I want everybody to understand that it's okay to pursue big goals. It's okay to focus on yourselves, because through focusing on yourselves, you're actually going to get into a position where you can actually give later on, right? And it's very similar to when you're on a plane. They have when they talk about the masks, when they come down, they say, put one on yourself first. Because if you start helping the person beside you and you don't have enough air, you're going to pass out, and then you're no good to anybody.
That's right. And
so, as a society, right, they say, well, you know what, you have to give back, right? You got to give back. You got to, and the focus becomes on like, okay, like, I'm not going to work so much because I got to do this, I got to do that. But when you're working, you're actually giving, especially if you work in a team. When you work in a team and you build a company, you organize people, you're actually giving to these people's lives at the same time as you are growing yourself, growing your portfolio. And now when you grow your portfolio, when you grow your life, you get to a point where now it overflows. When it's overflowing, now you can give more of your time, more of your money. You can do so much more when you get to that point. And so a lot of people, they don't understand that, and they feel this guilt. And the guilt is actually what sabotages the success.
You know, I love that because, you know, we feel guilt so often. It's easy to feel guilty. It's hard to think about yourself first. And, you know, Irismar is just coming up to be graduating from Deepak Chopra's wellness certified life coaching program. So
Cool.
she's coming up with that. And I've been,
Congratulations.
and I've been listening to that a lot in terms of what she's teaching me. And it starts with you first. It has to start. You have to give me time in order to, you know, help everybody else and fix everybody else. And once we have that clarity, it really comes a lot easier once you focus on yourself.
Alfonso made a big component there that is about what we're conditioned with. So it's one, we already come with so many preconditions. We need to at least start by accepting a different perspective. And you gave us that perspective, right? It's not about giving back, remove the back, it's about giving.
Yeah.
And then connect with what that giving means to you. It might be giving financial support if you have it, or it might be giving your time, or donations if that's what you have in terms of maybe clothing or food, someone else. But it's changing the perspective and how we can give. But that growth starts within. So I guess we need to start on, am I ready for change? And if we're ready for change and we want to take action, then that's the biggest step, and we'll give you congratulations. But if in order to see change, Alfonso, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but if we want to see change, we actually have to change who we are and what we have been. Because if we don't change our routines or where we're heading or what we do, how is our future going to be differently?
Yeah. For things to change, one has to change.
Yeah.
You can't expect change and be the same person. You can't expect to do the same thing all the time and expect for the outcome to be different, right? The reason that we all have the lives that we live is because of the people we are. And the idea of change is not, you know, change something you're doing or change yourself or change your core. You know, you have to start changing your paradigms. And we are habitual beings. And it's true that every decision that we make will impact us at some point in the future. It's like the butterfly effect, right? The butterfly effect says that if you went back in time and you killed the butterfly, when you go back to the present, right? Or back to the present time, everything would be different, right? It's like every moment there's a decision. Right now, I'm deciding to share what's up here, right? Right now, this is what I've decided to do this. This morning, I decided to look in my email, and then your email was there. Like every decision has an impact, right? And so if that's true, is it possible that the reason that your life is the way it is because of the decisions that you've made? And how have you made these decisions? You've made these decisions based on your paradigm and everything that you understand, right? Do you walk outside? Do you you know, what kind of content do you listen to or consume? And so you have to start taking inventory. Now, if you're happy with the way you are, you're happy with your life, then there's nothing to do. I mean, you're good. I think you're on the right track. You know, you don't need, money's not a requirement. You don't need all these things to be happy. But if you want more and you want to create more, then it's simple. You have to become more. And so you have to be headed in the direction of the things that you want, whatever the outcome is, you have to start moving towards that direction. And if you don't change anything, nothing will happen, or nothing different will happen. You'll just continue to get the same result over and over and over and over again. And so, I mean, every 3 months, I sit down and I ask myself, what do I want? And do I want the same things?
Huh.
Now that I understand that, then I start thinking about the decisions that I make. What are are the decisions that I'm making, are they in alignment with the things that I want? And guess what? Sometimes they're not, you know? Sometimes they're not in alignment. And so I have to, you know, very, very similar like a GPS, where you're no longer on the route. It just kind of reroutes and brings you back to where you were wanting to go. And so it's so important that we do this type of work with ourselves. You know, what I love about New Year's resolutions is that everyone globally, you know, has subscribed to this philosophy that we can start fresh. You know, I don't know when this is going to be aired, but today is January the 3rd, at 10 a.m. So I'm willing to bet that right now there's a lot of people that are excited, that are energized, that are ready to take on 2024 and just like really make it the best year of their life. The issue is that by January 20th, they've lost momentum, right? And by March, it's like, what happened to the goals? You know what? I'm just going to get to it next month. Now you're into the summer, but now the summer, you know, you want to relax a little bit. And so, you know what? I'm going to push this till September. And then September comes. What were the goals anyways? You know what? We're so close to the new year again. So let's just push this off to the new year. And so I love the idea of starting fresh. I love the idea of setting goals. I love the idea that everybody has this like reset. But there's this illusion of time that you think you have. And that is why most people do not follow through with their New Year's resolutions. And so what I've done in my life is that I have a New Year's every 3 months.
Well, I love
So
it. You're keeping it fresh.
that's it. What happens is, you know, you're not waiting for the end of the year to figure out that you didn't do anything, right? And what happens when you compress time, right? When you compress time, then you only focus on the things that are important to you. For example, my most productive time is when I have to catch a flight at 1 p.m. I got to be at the airport by 11. Between 8 and 10:30, I'm like a superhero. I achieve so much because you have this compressed time. There's a sense of urgency, right? And you got to get all these things done. If I gave you 30 days to paint a house, Jim, how long would it take you?
I could do it shorter than that.
Yeah,
For
but
you.
if I give you 3 days, how would it take
For you, I'll do it shorter than that. But yeah.
Okay, give me how much shorter?
Oh, the average person, let's just say, would give about 25 days.
Okay, perfect. What if I said, I'm gonna give you $1 million, but you got to paint my house in 2 days? Would you do it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course, because what happens when you compress time? You only focus on the things that are of the utmost importance. You have no choice. When you have this false sense of time, you start filling in the time. You fill in the time with BS, you know, things that don't even matter. You might, you know, you just take your time, right? And so this illusion of we have 1 year to achieve our goals actually is what's working against us.
Gotcha.
And so what I do is I like to compress time. And so I give myself, okay, you know, these are the things that I want to achieve in my year. For most people, their year is 12 months. My year is 3 months. And so in 3 months, I'm going to review, evaluate, adjust, celebrate. I celebrate every quarter as if it's a New Year's Eve, because I like the mindset that goes behind that. It's a fresh restart. And then now I can go on my next 3 months. And so while everybody has 1 year, I have 4, right? I've created 4 years in one.
Love it.
And so compressing time creates the urgency that gets shit done.
Love it.
That's
But also gives you the opportunity to pivot and shift your focus.
exactly.
Right? 'Cause
Exactly.
you might have, maybe it's not longer a priority. Now you're shifting it. How often
Exactly.
do you do that yourself?
I'm going to do that every 3 months, right? Because I want to make sure that I am moving towards what I want, right? And sometimes what I want may change.
Yeah.
Right. And so I need to know that before a whole year goes by and I didn't realize that I'm moving towards something that maybe I don't even want anymore. Right. Because we're evolving creatures. Right. And so going back to what you were saying before, the habits, I'm going to adjust the habits based on what I'm focused on right now. And if you compress time and it becomes an urgent situation in your life, then you get rid of all the BS and then you just focus on the most high value tasks that are going to get you to the desired outcome.
Wow. Well, Alfonso, we're starting off the year. We're excited. A lot of people are excited, but I've always, over the years that Irismar and I've known you, you're always it, man. You're always, your energy levels here, your energy levels even higher. What happens? What do you do when Alfonso has like a bummed out day or a bummed out moment? What do you do to bring your energy and your drive back up?
You have to redirect your energy. Now, it's true, people see me on stage, and you can even ask my wife. The way I'm on stage is the way I'm at home. I'm just someone that loves life, and because I get to play every day, because I get to do the things that I love every single day, this is what fuels me, and it just fills my cup, right? And so the reason people have more down days than high level energy days is because they're doing the things that maybe don't fill their cup, right? Now, it doesn't mean that I don't have a down day, right? A day that I wake up and for whatever reason, I find myself being a negative or doing that self-talk, the little monkey brain speaking in the back of your mind, and the first thing that I do, I check in on myself, okay? So I ask myself, did I eat today? I would say 50% of the time that I'm feeling that way, it's because I forgot to eat. Sometimes I get so involved and so fired up about what I'm doing, I skip a meal or I just don't think about eating or whatever. And that is your body telling you, hey, wake up, like we need some fuel here, right? Most people don't realize that they maybe didn't eat right, or they haven't they skipped breakfast or whatever. Now they go down this like they spiral downwards, right, in terms of energy and productivity. They just like, okay, it's not my day, right? But really, it's like, did you eat? The second thing I check in on is like, did I sleep? And if you can only imagine, like my brain shutting down, it's really difficult, right? And if I didn't sleep right the night before, well, it's normal that the next day I'm not going to be myself. I'm not going to feel myself, and that can impact other things in my life, right? And so, did I eat? Okay. Did I sleep? Have I drank enough water? I would say 90% of the things that impact my overall well-being and my energy and how I feel and my perspective on life, it comes from being dehydrated, right? If I've been drinking the night before, or you know, I whatever reason I didn't grab my water bottle or whatever, I didn't hydrate myself enough, your body will feel it and then will let you know, right? You may feel hungry, but you're not even hungry. You're just thirsty. I think when we're born, we're like 90% water. I think as we get older, I think we're more like 75%. You know, I don't know the exact number, but we are water, right? We are water. And so when we're dehydrated, our bodies are telling us this. But what happens? Most people ignore their body. They ignore the signals and they just go about life. And then now, you remember what we said before about the decisions and the habits? Well, now we go about creating, but from this negative perspective, this lack perspective, which we all can fall into if we don't take care of our bodies, if we don't take care of ourselves, if we don't take care of our minds, right? Another thing that affects me personally is if I spent too much time with someone negative, or where, you know, they're talking about the news and all the world's problems, and, you know, it just brings my energy down, or for whatever reason, I get caught up in some clickbait and I get sucked into the black hole of, you know, negative news, and then I'm going to now have this you know, this negative feeling, it's like a fog that comes around me, right? And so I think we've all experienced that. That's nothing new. What do? Well, if I didn't eat, I'm going to stop what I'm doing and I'm going to go and eat. If I didn't drink enough water, I'm going to stop what I'm doing. I'm going to drink water. If I didn't get enough sleep, well, you know what? Let's take a nap. Let me take a 20-minute nap here. And when I wake up, you know, I'm going to look at whatever situation I was looking at before from a different perspective, a more rested perspective. If it's, you know, if someone has impacted my mind negatively, well, I'm going to stop what I'm doing and I'm going to read something that is inspiring. I'm going to watch a video. I'm going to listen to music. I love music, can inspire me, get me going. And so what we feed our bodies, what we feed our minds, will have a direct connection to what we put out there into the world. And what we put out into the world comes right back at you, right? You are attracting what you're putting out on a consistent basis. And so if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're not taking care of this vessel here, then the output is going to be basura, garbage. And then what you're going to attract in life will be basura, garbage. And so we all are going to have those days, but it's important that we can understand our bodies, listen to our bodies, and do you know, help yourself first, and then go back to whatever it is that you were doing, because you're going to come back from a abundance perspective, not a lack perspective.
So for everybody watching, I want you to make sure you take that in. At least for the first 3 months of this new year, 2024, give some time to yourself. Focus on yourself first, and let everything, you'll reap the benefits and rewards after that. But I love that. Thank you so much.
No, I love it. I think it's a beautiful way to summarize the entire message, that self-care is actually not being selfish. We need to take care of ourselves first, and then the abundance will multiply in many ways for us to do what we decide to do, on how we decide to give.
Love it.
Love it. Well, thank you.
I told you I was going to drop bombs.
Beautiful, that's perfect.
Loved it so much. Well, I thank you, Alfonso. You are the godfather of real estate. You are the founder of a beautiful community, an education program called Wealth Genius. You've done amazing things with your partner in life by your side, Helene. She's a beautiful individual. We love your family. We love what you guys all are bringing to the community. So thank you for your time, and thank you for everybody watching.
Yes, thank you, everyone. Muchas gracias, Alfonso. And for those out there that I'm sure might be curious, maybe we'll do a part 2 halfway in the year.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Now hang tight, Alfonso.